5:30.
Good evening. I'd like to call to order the July 22nd Committee of the Whole meeting to order. Clerk Vogt, would you please call the roll? Not getting any. Mike. Got mine.
City TV, can you check the microphone for Council President Garza, please?
Yeah. There we go. All right. Good evening. I'd like to call to order the July 22nd Committee of the Whole meeting. Clerk Vogt, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Spatafor? Councilmember Hussein?
Here.
Councilmember Carter?
Here.
Councilmember Pelley-Van
Present.
Councilmember Brown?
Present.
Councilmember Cost? Councilmember Garza?
Here.
Councilmember Jackson? 8 members present.
Thank you. All right. We are to the minutes of the July 8th meeting. Councilman Cost.
Thank you, President Garza. I would move the minutes of July 8, 2024 as written.
Thank you. We have a proper motion in place. All those in favor, please state by, any questions, comments from council? All those in favor, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes. Okay, we are to public comment on agenda items. If there's anybody from the public that would like to come down to the podium, please state your name for the record and you will have up to 3 minutes.
Well, it looks like I'm it. Loretta Stanaway, City Hall. Okay, first off, you have to remember that this building was paid for by the taxpayers through millages, and I believe they probably paid for, I'm guessing, 30 years on this building. And then they have supported it all those years since with their taxes and their millages to go for upkeep and maintenance and repairs. Whether or not those upkeep and maintenance and repair things ever actually got done or not remains to be debated. But as a return on their investment, you're offering $2.78 million versus the initial appraisal on the building in the neighborhood of $4.5 million. Do you know what 6.2 is? That's the number of days of city operating budget that is covered by $2.78 million. So you're telling the taxpayers that for less than a week of operating expenses, you're going to sell their building. I don't think that's reasonable. I think you need to hold the initial appraisal and insist that that be the purchase price if you're going to do this sale. And I think that there needs to be wording in the document, the legal sales agreement, that locks in stone and is irrevocable, unchangeable, cannot ever be disputed. Language that says they can never have a brownfield, they can never do a TIFA, they can never have an Oprah, they can never have a pilot, and they can get no tax breaks ever of any kind. If we're selling this building at pennies on the dollar, we need to get something out of it. And it needs to be done in language that cannot be altered so that in 2 or 5 or 10 years, they don't come back and say, oh, yeah, but, you know, those phrases, the yeah, buts. No, yeah, buts. Have that language so that they cannot come back and ask for more later on, and that they cannot ever sell the business or the building separately or together within a time frame that's stated in the contract. I think it was 40, 50 years, I'm not sure. But whatever that contract limit is, they cannot go quicker than that. And I think that these are reasonable and fair requests, and the public out here expects to get some kind of a return on this investment beyond less than a week's worth of money for the city to operate. And I personally will be down here if they ever come back for any of these other things, either in person or haunting you, to say, I told you so, this is not going to happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any virtual public comment? Okay, no virtual public comment. All right, that moves us down to discussion action item 5. We have B, an ordinance for readoption of codified ordinances 2024. Like I said on July 8th, as we had the public hearing, this is an annual exercise. Council didn't receive any correspondence on this. Do we have any questions or any additional comments from council? Councilman Jackson.
Just briefly for the record, I know we talked about the appraisal a lot, and I was pretty satisfied with the explanation, but can we, just for the record, someone just put on like the status of the appraisal we're using and just like a brief history. I know
Councilman
it's-
Jackson, that will be the next agenda item.
Oh,
We're in the codified.
I'm
ordinance.
sorry.
That's okay. But I'm sure someone will get to that. Do we have any additional comments for the readoption of the codified ordinances? Okay, with none, Vice President Hussein.
I would move the, the readoption of codified ordinances for 2024.
Okay, we have a proper motion in place. All those in favor, please state by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Okay, motion passes. All right, moving down to C, resolution, sale of city property, David C. Hollister, Lansing City Hall, Building 124, West Michigan Avenue. So the property was appraised by Valbridge Property Advisors on March 7th, 2023 at $2,780,000. Beitler has offered to purchase the property at the appraised price and will not seek public financial incentives for its redevelopment. The city will retain 100% of the tax benefits. The redevelopment agency detailing the sale and redevelopment of the property into a hotel was placed on file with the city clerk on June 3rd. It's a 183 guest room hotel potential. City council had a public hearing on July 8th. And with that, there's on-site parking of 60 spaces with up to 100 additional off-site parking spaces. Rooftop restaurant with a cocktail lounge. Ground floor retail, approximately 3,000 square feet. And with that, I will open it up for discussion. Councilman Jackson.
thank you. You kind of went through some of the history, or at least the most recent appraisal. I think you said April of 23, something of 23.
March 7th of 23.
I guess, can you just go, if that's the latest one, can you just go back like the last two, just on like the appraisal, different amounts, just so we can hear it again?
Vice President Hussein, I don't have that.
If I'm not mistaken, you probably have in front of you. I believe in 2015, it was appraised for 4.2, and I think in 2021, it was down to 3.5. And so from 2021 to 2023, it went from the 3.5 down to the 2.8. Is that correct? I believe so.
And I guess just a brief follow-up, is the depreciation because of maintenance, or is it because of like use and the lack thereof for post-COVID?
Yeah, I believe it's the condition of the building. And, it'd probably be worth more with the building removed and a hole in the ground, is what I was being told. With the dilapidated building, from what I was told when I was talking to some of the maintenance, that there was never any water treatment in the pipe, so they're all like a bunch of Band-Aids on it right now. So the building is definitely by far needing of some love, some TLC, and I don't think the city or the taxpayers are willing to be on the hook for that. I can't speak for the appraisal. Mayor Shore, do you have any comments you'd like to make?
When we came in 2018, we were told at the time it was 55 to 60 million, something like that, to fix. We certainly didn't put that in, so it continued to deteriorate. There was the appraisal in 21 and then again in 23 as we restarted the process. So we put a lot of Band-Aids on this building. We put probably $1 million and a half every year just for maintenance of this building. But you all work here and you've seen the condition. You all park in the garage, and we know there's asbestos locked in here. So the building worth has gone down. And even the original appraisal at the 4 point whatever million in 15 said that was an appraisal without really a deep dive into the building. And when they took the deep dive, they said it would be less than that. So it's just the building is old and in bad shape and is about to get completely rehabilitated, assuming this passes.
Any additional comments or questions from council? See no further comments. Vice President Hussein.
All right. Oops, sorry about that. I would move the resolution of the sale of city property, David C. Hollister, Lansing City Hall, Building 124, West Michigan Avenue. Just for the body, it's a 5-item vote in committee, but it's a 6-item vote as part of council tonight. So with that being said, I would move the resolution.
Okay, we have a proper motion in place. All those in favor, please state by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes. And with that, I see no further business on our agenda. We are adjourned.
As someone who has always